Hi, I'm Troy Alexander for Child Support Game Over, co-author of this book, Child Support Game Over, which is a phenomenal resource that we encourage everyone to get. It's well over 300 pages, chock full of useful, helpful information to explain to you and give you an idea of what is being done to you, how it's being done, and some of the ways we have fought back against this evil, corrupt system. And I'd like to start off first. This is going to be a big time video. As Sam likes to say, this is important. Please spread this far and wide. Get this to as many people as possible. This is going to be stuff never seen before, never talked about before on the internet. And I'm going to show you some stuff that will probably blow your mind. And I'd like to see hundreds, if not thousands, of men working on this and coming up with their ideas. We want to bring you up to a high level so you can fight alongside us, and destroy this evil, corrupt system, which is destroying families, destroying children, and destroying lives, and destroying this country. So we're going to start first with this press release by this scum state representative. And I don't even want to tell you what I really think of people, ignorant people like this. But you can read here that states must do this, adopt these provisions of the Uniform Interstate Family Support Act, amendments integrate provisions of the Hague Convention on the International Recovery of Child Support and other forms of family maintenance. And as you know, I've been preaching this for months and months here, and I know a lot of people are still fighting this. This is the Hague Convention, international private law, being brought down on our people into this country, and I believe illegally. And I think if people really understood what was going on, these people would be in a lot of deep problems. The Hague Convention created uniform, simple, and inexpensive procedures for establishing, recognizing, and enforcing child support and family maintenance obligations. And now a lot of you are going to say, in international cases, Troy. And that's what we're going to deal with today. I want you to remember this. This is all about the Hague private international law being brought in and destroying families and destroying children and destroying this country. We're going to the glossary of child support glossary. Judicial process, the use of tribunals in determining child support legal obligations, not really, including paternity establishment, order establishment, enforcement, and modification of orders. Pay attention to that word tribunals. We've covered some of this before. We're going to cover it again because I want you to understand and see this. And I'm going to be covering some new stuff that's not been seen by anyone yet. And I really hope you guys get this and take it and do some great stuff with it. Tribunal. The difference between a tribunal and court. A tribunal may be a party to the dispute. These are presiding employees. And that's key why they're using the word tribunal. It is either quasi-judicial or quasi-administrative. Quasi-judicial, which means it's pretend judicial. It's not really judicial. Or quasi-administrative, like administrative court, but not administrative. They're doing it different ways in different states. Why? Because they're all perpetrating a fraud. Now here's something to understand. Like generally, a administrative court is what's known as an Article I court. An Article III court would be if it's judicial, as a general rule. Now you might ask, what's an Article II court? An Article II court is like a military court, under military, like martial law type court. Think that. So you got your Article I and your Article III. They're not Article 1. They're not Article 3. And we're going to jump to, this is H.R. 17045. I want you to read this and really think about this. States that no court of the United States, whether established under Article 1 or Article 3 of the Constitution, shall have jurisdiction of any action, whether legal or equitable. And this is having to do with child support. If you read this, bring it up, read it. Brought to restrain or review the assessment and collection of such amounts by the Secretary. When they say Secretary, they're talking the Secretary of Health and Human Services, Secretary of HHS, or his delegate. Who's his delegate? It's the Office of Child Support Enforcement. So these are assessments and collections being done by the Secretary of Health and Human Services, or his delegate, which is Office of Child Support Enforcement, which is the central registry and authority for the Hague Convention. That's why understanding this is so key. Nor shall any such assessment or collection be subject to review by the Secretary or his delegate in any proceeding. We made it, and you're stuck with it. How about that? Now, if this was an Article 1 court, it would be open to review. The jurisdiction of Article 1 tribunals has been challenged before the Supreme Court, which ruled that Article 1 tribunals may exist, but their power must be circumscribed, and when a potential deprivation of life, liberty, property, or property interest is involved, their decisions are subject to ultimate review in an Article 3 court. So is it an Article 1 court? No, because the Supreme Court ruled that it can be reviewed by an Article 3 court. But we've got a law here that states that the assessment and collection of such amounts by the Office of Child Support Enforcement cannot be challenged or have any action, legal or equitable, brought to restrain or review it. If it was an Article 3 court, you could have a court of appeals. But what's this law say? Can't be an Article 3 court. So is it an Article 2 tribunal? Military tribunal? I don't think so. But let's let the plot thicken some more. Now we're going to go back to central authority means the agency designated by a government to facilitate support enforcement with a reciprocating country, FRC, pursuant to Section 459A of the Act. Central registry means a single unit or office, which means the Office of Child Support Enforcement, within the state. Now this is key. This is key. This program is being operated under this law. What's their definition for state? The District of Corruption, the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, Guam, and America Samoa. What do these 5 have in common? Ask yourself that. What do these have in common? They are territories. They are territories. Central registry means a single unit or office within the territories IVD agency, which receives. This is the corporate United States has entered into a treaty called the Hague Convention. And the Hague Treaty specifies that they must pay this corporate United States for its territories. It must pay for the implementation of this treaty. And they created a program. And this is the program, this is the law setting up the program. Controlling order state means the state. And again, state are the territories in which the only order was issued or where multiple orders exist. State in which the order determined by a tribunal to control. It's like a tribunal. Means court, administrative agency, or quasi-judicial entity authorized under state law. The territory law. State is the territory to establish, enforce, or modify support orders, or to determine parentage. Again, the states are territories, and these are tribunals under the territories. Now, how are they getting into your state, which are actual states of the United States of America? They are doing so under foreign reciprocating agreements. You need to read Section 459A of the Act. So let's look at the state again. District of Corruption, Commonwealth of Puerto Rico, Virgin Islands, Guam, America, Samoa. Keep those names in mind. This is Article 4 Court. Full faith and credit shall be given to each state. Where did we hear that before? And who does it apply to? Trying to find it. It's the wrong one. Oops. It's this one. Territorial courts are operating in Guam, Virgin Islands. You got the District of Corruption. You got America, Samoa, and down here, Puerto Rico mentioned. Puerto Rico, District of Corruption, Guam, Virgin Islands. Let's go back here. What are they talking about? State, District of Corruption, Commonwealth of Puerto Rico, Virgin Islands, Guam, and America, Samoa. Territorial court. Can they run private international law by reciprocating agreement, making your county a foreign reciprocating country and operating a territorial court? Is that what's happening? Do some research, guys. Search this out. Looking forward to hearing from you. Let us know what you think. You can put your comments in the section below. Also, in the description, we'll have a link for ordering our book and a promo code. Our promo code for getting 50% off on the book. Again, I'm Troy Alexander for Child Support Game Over. Hope to see from you next time. And please like and subscribe. Thank you.